Hi everyone, welcome back to Grandpa Mark's Hobbies and build update number 2 of our Revell's 70 Roadrunner kit. We're turning this into a rust bucket, so this is what we got so far. What I did is I did a base coat of the XF9, the whole thing, and then I did a streaky light coat of XF64 right over top of that. I didn't even get a chance to dry, just right over top. And then on top of that, I came back with XF60. Again, streaky coat, just to try to lighten it up, get the browns, the reds, and everything going in there. And I think that worked out really well. So I let that dry, and I'm working on a video, but I lost some footage. But what I did is after that dried for one full day, I gave it 2 coats of Quick Shine with a flat base mixed right in it, X21. And what that did is that sealed all that paint in. And then I came back with Elmer's glue. And I had just torn off a piece of my foamy brush, and I grabbed the torn piece where it was like this with a pair of tweezers, just dipped it in the Elmer's glue, and then dipped it all over the place where I wanted that rust to show through. This is the first time I've ever tried this. I've seen it online a couple of times, and I've done the salt. Salt works really good. I just wanted to try something different, so that's why we're doing this. I did heavy around here. Wherever you see it, like the gloss color, that's where the Elmer is. So I went all over the place, into the dents where the shotgun blasts were, on the lips and ridges and everything. And now what I'm going to do is I'll let that sit, because I just did that a couple hours ago. I'm going to let that sit, and then I'm going to come over and we're going to give it a coat of XF3. I'm using XF on here for a flat yellow because this is going to be out in the woods. It's going to be sitting there forever. It's not going to have any gloss left on it. We're going to do that, and then we're going to come back with a toothbrush and water, and we're just going to rub this thing down and see where the glue comes off and how this works out. So we're still about 2, maybe 3 days out here, because I want to get that yellow on, and I know I got to let that set, and then we got to scrub our behinds off to go through that yellow and in. And I was told to do a light coat of the yellow, just like when you do your salt, a real light coat, and then just enough to where you get your cover and the color you want. So there's the body. I added a couple of hood hinges, and I should have waited because I want to tape this off. This is going to all be black. I don't want to go yellow over black. So I'm going to tape this off, and I'm just going to have to tape around that. These will get painted yellow, and then I'll have to paint them and rust them out again. So it is what it is. But there's the body, the suspension and everything. You can bring it all in here right now. Got rusted out too. I used the same technique on that, on the bottom of the pan and chassis, and anywhere that there's going to be metal showing, it got that mix sprayed on it. So I painted pretty much everything that, except for the door panels and seats and the interior. Then I came back, I painted these black just to give a little bit of different color. Flat aluminum on the pipes, and then chrome silver on the tip here. Remember, I cut this off and drilled out both of those. I drilled a couple of holes in the mufflers to just show that they're rotted out. What I did is I drilled in, and then I drilled a couple around it, and then I came in the back side with the knife angled this way, and I cut that out and thinned it out just a little bit, so that looks a little bit thinner in there. And then when we come back with our panel liner, that'll show up to where it looks like the sheet metal's rotted out. Then I came in with that on top of everything with my rust from my Wethermaster C, and I went crazy. Rusted everything out as much as I could. That's why you got the rust on the pipes, you got rust here, on the suspension work, all over the place. I also did the pan really heavy and the chassis really heavy. Not done with this yet. I'm going to be coming back at it with panel liner, and then I'm going to come back at it with this again, and we'll kind of go back and forth a couple of times until I get it to where it's the rust that I want it to be. The panel liner will take this and darken it out a little bit and then make it look more metal-like, I guess is the word for it. And then this will come back over top of that and give that metal a little bit more rust. Basically what we're looking for is an even coat of rust, and you're never going to see this because this is going to be upside down in the diorama. So I'm just doing this more for practice and just to see a couple of things that I wanted to try. That's all. This whole kit is me trying stuff that I never did before. So I'm having a blast with it. But you see here, once we get this on the front end on and all that, it's going to look pretty dang dirtied up. So it doesn't look bad right now. I'm looking at it through the camera. And I kind of like the way it looks. But we're going to keep going and we're going to really get into it. I'm going to do the same thing inside here once I'm done. So anywhere where it's going to be metal, where the engine was and underneath and all that, it's going to be pretty messed up where it doesn't have that yellow paint on it. And we're going to go really heavy. I'm not doing a roof, or a hood on this, so you're going to be able to see in here. My next step is I'm going to have to figure out where my heater core went in, and I'll drill 2 holes because I want to have the heater hoses kind of wrapped over here. Wires strewn here and there. I'm going to have a couple wires run from here up because I showed you my it was right in front of me. I showed you my front end here, the chrome part. Well, this is being more aluminum than anything, but what I want to do is I want to take these two, I'm going to drill 2 holes in there, and I'm going to have a couple of little wires sticking out with clips on the ends of them, just pieces of little of my flat styrene or something on the end, just to represent plugs. The other side I'll have the 2 lenses in there, but I'll hit them with my matte Mod Podge and weather them out just a little bit too. So that'll work out pretty darn good. Next on the agenda, and it's a biggie, and I'm doing kind of videos on all this. Like I said, I was doing videos on how I rust this out, but I lost some of the video. It's just been a bad couple of days down in the shop. So I lost some of the video, but we're into it here now too with the seats. Remember I told you I was going to put the paper towel down and glue it in place, which I did across here. I kind of just I guess Mod Podged it in just using Elmer's glue. I put the Elmer's glue down, I painted this with Elmer's glue, I put it on, and then I went over top of that with Elmer's glue again and let that sit for 2 days just to harden up, and now it's nice and tacky on there. I painted everything with just folk art gray, and we're letting that sit. I let that sit for 2-3 hours, and then I came back, and on the upper parts of the seat where the plastic is, and I did this on the dash, and I also did this on the back seat too, where I wanted it, is I got some Crackle paint, and I ordered one that was way bigger than I'll ever need. I thought I ordered one of the smaller bottles, but I guess I didn't. And anyhow, we're taking that, I put that in, and what that's going to do is when I come back with a black, is it's going to crackle that dash, and it's going to crackle those seats up a little bit, and just weather them out. And that's all I'm looking for, is just a little bit of crackle in there. So we'll see how that rolls out. Where's my dash? Here it is. And all I did on this to Crackle, I just did the top, not the front. The front's going to get the black. I'm going to use my acrylic black that I always use, and then I'm going to hit it with Quick Shine. And when all this is dry too, I'm going to Quick Shine over the top of it too, just to seal all that in. My recommendation on that is to spray it on. Don't brush it on this time, because I'm afraid if I brush it on, I might soften it up and pull that crackle out of there. So I think I'm going to spray that on this time. But again, we'll see. So there's those. And then I wasn't done yet. Where am I going with this? How about if I pause? So I was sitting here thinking about it, and I thought, hey, why don't we do this right now? Right on film, and we'll see together how this crackles. So I want to get my flat, soft brush, and I'm going to take and put a little bit of water in here. I just put a drop or two in here. I want to thin this out some. Maybe even a little tiny bit more. There we go. I've been using the spoons that I painted on. Just to kind of make things easier, and they seem to work pretty good. So let's take this. I can't see worth a darn. Let me get my visor here and throw it on. And I'm going to already apologize for smacking the lens 10 times while we do this. But we're just going to do this real quick here. Get some paint on, make sure we got it, and we're just going to paint this on. And I can already see it pulling apart where that crackle was. That's pretty cool. We'll keep going here. Across this one. And as that dries, it starts to pull apart. And I've used this before on stuff that I did out of wood. And it seemed to work really good. So now we're going to just come back on the back side here. I didn't do a whole lot, but we're going to paint this out. And I'm going to have it streaky right now. I'll come back with the second coat and take care of that. And I'm going to need something to hold on to here. So that didn't work. There we go. I hardly had it at all. So let's keep going here. This part's not going to be crackled because I'm going to tear it once this is all dry. And we'll touch everything up, and a lot of this you're not even going to see. Because it's going to be buried inside the car. But we'll all know it's there, and we'll have fun doing it. So there's that, and you can see we're starting to get a little crackling going on here. That's a little much, so I'm going to come back over it. If it makes it to where it goes away, I'm okay with that, because it's just, an attempt anyhow. But there is all that. I'm going to set this one aside here to dry. And we're going to do the dash. So I'm going to grab an alligator clip here. And I'll grab hold of this dash over here where it doesn't matter. Get some paint on my brush. And I'm going to start away from the crackle. I want to do all this first so I can fuss with it. and make it look okay. I love these soft brushes. I want to make sure I get in those gauges really good, because we're going to quick shine that and we're going to do the gauges like I did the last time. There we go. Not too bad. Get everything that might be seen. And now we'll come up here and see how this works out for us. I'm always nervous doing this kind of stuff. Got something on the back here. There we go. You ready? Let's see what happens. And right off the rip, it's already starting to crackle. Look at that. That's going to look good. That'll be weather beat and sun bleach for sure. And that's going to dry flat black too. But that's neat, huh? I'll show you how that dries all the way on the next. But you see how fast that went because I thinned this paint out a little bit. And I did want a lot of cracking on the top of this. And I wanted to be able to see it. And that's why I went with the gray over top of the black, or underneath the black, I'm sorry. But there we go. There's that one. Let me stick that in my holder. And we can do the back seats too. And these I didn't do. You can see where the shiny part is. I didn't do the whole seat. I just did some of it. So let's see how this works. Come up the seat. I'm going to come around. I'm going to try to be neat, even though it doesn't matter because the rest of it's going to get painted the flat black down the road. So just want to get a good coat on everything, and we'll sit back and enjoy the fun. I'm liking my new camera setup here too, by the way. I'm able to do more with you. There we go. There's that. Let's hit the bottom here. And this will probably take a good hour for it to dry enough to where you can see the total of how it's cracked. But you really don't want to work this out, work it too much, because you might cover that crackle up. But I can see it working right now where I put it. I'm not going to bore you with the whole thing, but there we go. You can see it's starting to pull and crack up at the top here already, and down on these seat cushions, which I'm hoping breaks up pretty good, because the seats are going to be pretty much weathered. There's not going to be a front window, but the back window will be in. So there we go. I'm cracking up top, cracking down at the bottom where the seats are going to get hit all the time. Throw this in. Let's grab this one, see if it's doing any more. Yeah, a little bit, not too bad. And like I said, we'll have to see how that goes when it's dry. I got a couple cracks on the top, and I didn't go everywhere again, like I said, but I did put it in here, and then we'll break this loose. With a knife, I'll just poke it, and then I'll peel that up with my tweezers, and we'll paint that from the underneath side to give it a nice rust. I'll add some foam, and I think we're going to have a little raccoon living in here. So with that, I will let you go. I'll bring you back here when this is all dry on our next setup. I'll talk about it again and how it worked, or if it didn't, and how the body worked out, or if it didn't. So y'all have a great day, and a better tomorrow. And thank you very much for watching.